All right, so it's recording now. So, okay, so balikan natin yung discussion the last time, no? Napag-aralan natin yung auditing, yung verbatim ng auditing. So, ang nagsabi nun, si American Accounting Association. So, ano ba yung sabi ni American Accounting Association about auditing? Auditing is a systematic process of objectively obtaining and evaluating evidences regarding assertions about economic actions and events to ascertain the degree of correspondence between those assertions and established criteria and communicating the results thereof. So, ulitin ko ulit ha. So, anong sabi ng American Accounting Association about auditing? So, ang sabi ng American Accounting Association, accounting daw is a systematic process of objectively obtaining and evaluating evidences. That's why we are gathering evidences. Kasi nga, auditor tayo. Para saan yung evidences natin? To check if those assertions has a relationship between the assertions itself and then the established criteria. And then kapag may nakitang findings or kung meron ng audit results, we have to communicate the results to interested users through issuance or rendering of audit opinion. So, at the end of the audit, nagbibigay ng audit opinion si auditor. So, yun yung overview nung nakaraan natin. And then, napag-usapan din natin yung assertions. Kung maalala nyo, kapag sinabi nating assertions, ito yung una nating tatandaan, perceive. So, ano yung perceive? Presentation and disclosure, existence, rights and obligations, completeness, evaluation, and allocation. So, natatandaan pa natin to. So, dapat tandaan nyo itong word na ito, perceive. Assertions, perceive. So, pag-aaralan din natin yung ibang assertions sa ibang topic. Alright. So, opinion, ano yung opinion natin? Anong nire-render? Assurance. Only a reasonable assurance. Bakit? Kasi merong inherent limitation. So, tulad nga ng sinabi nyo nakaraan, may inherent limitation. Ano yung ibang term for reasonable assurance? A high but not absolute assurance. So, yun po yung sinasabi natin. So, ngayon, let's go now to our next discussion. So, ano yung next discussion natin? So, we have here the types of audits. So, yan. Nakikita pa po ba yung screen ko?
Yes po.
Alright. Okay. So, kung nakikita nyo pa at napapakinggan pa ako, please press number 1. Okay, so please press number 1. Okay, ayan. So, this serves as your attendance kasi meron tayo, naka-record siya. So, yung mga tina-type nyo dyan, sinasubmit rin sa atin ni Google. Ni Gmail, ni Google Meet. Ayan. So, alright. Okay. Wow, may number 10 na agad. Alright, ayan. So, lahat pa naman ay actively participating. So, may types of audit daw pala under auditing. Ano-ano kaya yung types of audit na yon? So, tignan natin ha. Ilalagay ko rito, aayusin ko lang siya. So, meron tayong types of audit. Ano yung types of audit na yon? So, meron tayong number 1, meron tayong number 2, at meron tayong number 3. So, sino sa mga estudyante ko yung nakakaalam ang mga types of audits na meron sa atin? Bilang, okay, so let me check. Siguro si ano muna tayo, kay Jane muna. Jane. So, banggit ka ng isa muna, isa lang.
Financial statement audit, sir.
Financial statement audit. So, that is correct. Yan yung pinakauna nating audit na alam natin. Kasi ito yung tinuturo noon 'di ba? Sa accounting, sabi nila, the end of accounting is the start of auditing. So yun yung tinutukoy doon, financial statement audit. So anong meron sa financial statement audit. Ano kaya meron sa financial statement audit? Yes, John Carlo.
Doon po sa financial statement audit po, ina-investigate po yung financial statement prepared by the management or the company po. Or yung simply the client po nung auditor.
Alright. So, kapag financial statement audit, the auditor audits the FS. So, lagay ka dito. So, yan. Okay, ayusin ko lang. Auditor audits the FS if it is fairly presented. Diba? So, kaya tinitignan, kaya in-audit yung financial statement ng auditor to check if the financial statement is really fairly presented. Paano siya masasabing fairly presented? Paano siya masasabing fairly presented? So, anyone from the class? Yes, Jennifer?
If it is fairly presented, if it is in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles or another comprehensive and authoritative financial reporting framework.
Wow. So, accurate, no? So, dapat in accordance with generally accepted accounting principle. So, yun yung old term natin, di ba? Or applicable financial reporting framework, di ba? Applicable financial reporting framework. The last time, di ba, pinag-aralan natin kung ano-ano yung mga klase ng reporting framework. So, tatlo din yon. So, ano yung tatlong financial reporting framework na ginagamit natin? For large or listed companies, we use full PFRS, di ba? For small and medium enterprises, we use PFRS for SMEs. And then for small and micro enterprises, we use PFRS for small entities. So ito yung mga applicable financial reporting framework na ginagamit natin. Dati nung wala pang PFRS for small entities, meron tayong ginagamit na income tax for reporting framework. So ano naman yung income tax reporting framework? Yun yung mga cash basis. When you record income when there is only a cash actually received. You report expenses when there is a cash payment, 'di ba? So, yun yung income tax reporting framework noon. So, applicable yun sa mga maliliit na companies or entities. So, now, meron na tayong PFRS for small entities. Ngayon, ano naman ang isa pang uri ng audit? Yes, John Eric.
Compliance audit, sir.
Compliance audit. So that is correct. So lagay natin dito. Okay, yan. Compliance audit. So ano naman yung compliance audit? Anyone? Yes, February.
February. Feb na lang po.
Feb. Okay.
Ano po,
Yes,
sa
Feb.
compliance audit naman po, doon naman po chine-check or in-audit ni auditor kung nag-comply ba si organization sa mga laws, sa regulations, or sa contracts po.
Yes, that's correct, no? So compliance with the relevant laws, rules, and regulations. So yan yung meron sa compliance audit. So ano normally yung mga subject to compliance audit? So meron ba kayong aware? Meron ba kayong idea? Ano yung mga laging nasasubject for compliance audit? So do you have any idea? All right, sige, check ko po. Yes, John Eric.
Sir, yung ano po, if yung entity is nagko-commit ba ng tax evasion?
Yes, that's correct, 'di ba? So just to check kung merong tax evasion, 'di ba? So tax evasion. Siyempre, from the BIR point of view, chine-check ni BIR kung compliant ba talaga, kung totoong nagbabayad ng tax ang mga businesses. So that's why we have BIR audit. So yung mga BIR auditor pala, doon sa loob ng BIR, mga compliance auditor pala sila. Nakukuha po ba? Ano pa? Ano pa kaya? Ano pa yung mga subject to compliance audit? Meron pa? So meron pa.
Sir, pwede po try.
Sige pa, sige.
Kapag yung sa mga ano po, sir, sa mga restaurant,
Restaurant,
kapag
sige, ano po?
may mga nag-check po, pero di ko lang po sure yung tawag or kung internal lang ba yun.
Oh, I see. So yung iba kasi meron silang tinatawag na sanitary compliance. So like sa restaurants kasi kailangan sumunod sila sa tamang sanitary procedures. Kasi ang pinoproduce nila is mga pagkain. So normally, itong mga pagkain na to, kapag na-expose sa mga maduduming bagay or sa germs, na ang tawag nila doon, nagkakaroon ng alteration sa pagkain. So, nagkakaroon ng food alteration. So, term yon ng mga nasa food industry. So, alteration. So, kailangan fully compliant sila with the procedures, with the process kung paano i-handle yung pagkain. Kailangan yung mga nagluluto naka-hairnet kasi kapag walang hairnet, malalaglag yung buhok, 'di ba? Ganun din. Kahit sa hospital, ganun din sa hospital, 'di ba? Yung mga surgeons, anong ginagawa nila? Bago sila pumasok sa operating room, maghuhugas sila ng kamay. Tapos hindi nila pwedeng ibaba yung kamay nila lower than their waist. Kasi ang sabi nila, kapag mas mababa yung kamay mo lower than your waist, mas madaling ma-expose or makapitan ng mga bacteria and viruses. So, ganun yun. So, tama rin yun. Diba? Tama din si Feb. I think Nico is raising his hand. So, meron ka po bang example, Nico, Andre, for compliance?
Meron po, sir. Yung sa mga bangko po, yung mga, especially yung covered persons, nagre-report po sila sa AMLC ng mga covered transactions po.
Wow. So, it's a higher form of compliance audit. So, meron tayo kasi tinatawag na Anti-Money Laundering Act, di ba? So, AMLAC. So, meron tayong tinatawag na AMLAC. Those covered persons na sinasabi ni Nico Andre, ito yung mga normally nakikipag-transact mostly with foreign corporations or meron silang mga foreign transactions. So kapag may foreign deposits ka, foreign transactions, masasubject ka sa compliance with Anti-Money Laundering Act, di ba? Kasi baka kasi nanggaling yon sa masama or hindi siya nanggaling sa magandang bagay. So, kung titignan natin, ano ba yung anti-money laundering? So, i-discuss ko na rin siya, no? I-discuss ko na siya since na banggit natin. So, anti-money laundering. So, ano yung money laundering? Di ba? Laundering. So, what do you mean by money laundering? Pag money laundering, ano yung launder? Doon muna tayo sa launder. When you do the laundry, anong ginagawa niyo sa damit? Yes, John Eric.
Sir, yung pera po na galing sa illegal acts, pagmumukain pong malinis.
That's correct, 'di ba? Kaya parang you're doing the laundry for your money. So as if it's a good money, 'di ba? So paano ano yung normaling ginagawa ng mga nagma-money launder? Kukuha sila from bad sources. Like for example, yung mga terorista, 'di ba? Magkikidnap sila. Kikidnapin nila, tapos hihingi sila ng ransom. So that money is a laundered is a bad money. So bad money 'yon. So paano nila lilinisin yung bad money na 'yon? Madali 'yun matrace kung malaki, kung bulkuhan 'yon. So ano mangyayari? So anyone, ano kayang gagawin? Yes, Carl. Carl.
tayo. Yung iba po nagma-money launder by playing in casinos po.
Yes, that's correct. Yung iba, they play in casinos. So they play in casinos. Ano pa yung ginagawa ng iba? So bakit sila naglalaro in casinos? So just to, kasi hindi yun madaling matrace eh. Iba ang governing body for casinos, PAGCOR, di ba? Ang nag-monitor ng money laundering is BSP, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, pati nung AMLA, yung AMLA mismo. So, when you play your money in casinos, hindi mo naman yun ibibigay ng malakihan, di ba? So, paonti-onti. So, itatalo mo paonti-onti, mapupunta na sa casino yung pera na yon, or doon sa kalaban mo, or kapag nanalo ka, madadagdagan. So mahahalo siya sa mga malilinis na money. So ano pa yung iba na ginagawa ng iba na nagma-money launder? Yung ginagawa ng iba, kapag naka-receive sila ng isang malaking pera coming from a bad sources, hahati-hatiin nila. So paano nila hahati-hatiin? Ide-deposit nila yung iba maliliit sa bangko, yung iba ilalagay sa fund transfers, 'di ba? Yung sa Palawan Pawn Shop, sa Cebuana, Luwilier, yung iba sa M. Luwilier, yung iba sa Western Union. Papaikutin nila yun doon para maraming mapupuntahan, maraming transfers na nangyari. Tapos, ang mangyayari, paisa-isa yun papasok doon sa isang source. O kaya yung iba mapupunta sa ibang tao. O kaya yung iba, diretso na pambili ng mga bahay, ng kotse, ng mga luxury items. So as if hindi na kayang i-trace kasi na-breakdown na ng husto yung pera. So multiple transactions na yung nangyari. So hindi mo na matrace if that money is really coming from money laundering activities. Kasi mukha ng malinis. So they infuse the dirty money into the economy as if it's a healthy money. So ganun yun. So yun yung nangyayari for money laundering activities. So syempre, one of our prevention to prevent money laundering activities is for transactions with foreign transactions, dapat maging compliant with AMLAC, 'di ba? So yun yung nangyayari. All right. So ano pa kaya yung iba na dapat i-subject to compliance audit? Yes, Maureen. Yes, Maureen.
Pinapindot lang po, sorry. Sa
Sorry.
3 po dapat yan, sorry po.
All right. Okay. So anyone from the class, meron pa po ba kayong idea about compliance audit? Meron pa tayong ibang compliance audit. Like for example, sige ito, yan. Si RTU, dapat compliant siya with ISO, di ba? ISO standards, di ba? So yung compliance audit is more on ISO standards doon kay sa side ni RTU. Ano pa? Yung mga COA standards na sinusunod ni RTU. Kasi ang nag-audit kay RTU is si Commission of Audits. Ano pa? DOLE, di ba? So sa ibang company, dapat fully compliant ka with the DOLE rules and regulations. May pumupunta na DOLE officer sa office ninyo para i-check kung fully compliant kayo, kung nagbabayad ba kayong SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, yung mga nanay, working moms, kapag katapos pa lang mga anak, tapos breastfeed pa, dapat meron silang sariling nursing room doon para mag-milk, 'di ba? Maglabas ng gatas, tapos ilalagay sa ref muna para pag uwi sa bahay, pwede nang inumin ng kanilang baby. So, yun yung mga compliance requirement na sineset ni BIR. Ni DOLE. So, yun yung kay DOLE. Kay BIR naman, meron tayong tinatawag na BIR audit. So, ito yung mga example ng compliance audits na meron tayo. Ano pa yung isang uri ng audit? So anyone from the class, ano yung isang uri ng audit? Yes, Bridget.
Operational audit, sir.
Operational audit. So that is correct. Operational audit. So ano ang meron sa operational audit? Anyone from the class? Yes, Carmela?
Ina-assess po niya if yung organization's activities are conducted efficiently and effectively po. Tapos nagsasuggest din po sila yung auditor po nagsasuggest din ng mga improvements on how the activities to be conducted effective po.
Yes, that's correct. So it focuses more on operations. Lagay ko dito. It focuses on operations. If it is operating effectively, di ba? If it is operating effectively and efficiently, di ba? So, chine-check ng mga operational auditors, anong mga auditors for operational audits, kung yung operations ba is really operating effectively and efficiently, or compliant ba sila? Compliant with the existing operating policies, diba? Ano pa? It also measures the operating performance of the company or the entity, diba? So yan yung meron sa operational audit. So yan yung tatlong klase ng audit na meron tayo. Alright. Okay, so alisin ko lang ito ba? Alayo na yan. Okay, delete. Ayan. So yan. Ano yung tatlong types of audit? We have financial statement audit, we have compliance audit, and we have operational audit. Ano yung meron sa financial statement audit? It audits the financial statement of the company. Ito yung pinaka-core audit natin bilang mga magiging CPA. So we audit the financial statements, we render opinion if the financial statement really presents fairly in all material respects in accordance with the generally accepted reporting framework. And then, ano naman yung compliance audit? Compliance audit is more on the compliance with the relevant laws, rules, and regulations. Even the procedures kasama dito. So ano yung mga normal na subject to compliance audit? Like yung taxes, di ba? So si BIR yung nag-audit. Sanitary procedures, AMLAC, ISO standards, COA procedures. Operating audit or operational audit, it focuses on the operations. If it is really operating effectively and efficiently, or if it's really compliant with the existing operating policies, or it measures the operating performance of the company or entity. So ito, feeling ko na pag-aralan nyo naman na to nung inyong third year, di ba? Meron kayong operational auditing. Kaya sure ako dito na hindi na kayo dito malilito. Ngayon, tapos na tayo sa tatlong klase ng financial statement as tatlong klase ng audit. So tapos na tayo doon. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa types of auditor. So meron tayong types of audit, meron din tayong types of auditor. So ano meron sa types of auditor? Ilan po yun? So let's see, sino po? Okay. So anyone? Okay. Okay, sige, si Feb. Feb muna.
Internal auditors po, sir.
Internal auditors. Yes, there is an internal auditor. Pero anong ginagawa ni internal auditor? Yes, Carmela? Anong ginagawa ni internal auditor?
Ano po, yung sa internal auditor po, sila po yung nag-audit po, kagaya po din sa operational audit na napag-aralan namin dati. Yung
Yes.
operational audit po, yung nagkakandak po nun is yung mga internal auditor.
Yes, that's correct, 'di ba? So, check ko lang. Ayan. So, ang internal auditor, sila normally yung nandoon sa operational audit. So, kung meron ako mga estudyante noon sa operational auditing, ang sinasabi ko, kapag operational audit, sino yung auditor doon? Internal auditor. So, ano ginagawa ni internal auditor? Operational audit. So, yan yung normally yung ginagawa ni internal auditor. Pero hindi lang limited doon yung ginagawa ni internal auditor, ha? So, internal auditor can also do financial statement audit nung company na pinagtatrabahuhan nila. So pwede sila mag-audit nung financial statement ng company nila. So paano mag-audit si auditor ng financial statement audit nila? Kapag independent sila doon sa accounting or finance team. So merong internal audit department sila, merong finance and accounting department. Siyempre, si internal auditor, pwede niyang i-audit yung financial statement na ginawa or produce ng accounting and finance. Kasi kung si internal auditor siya din si accountant, hindi niya pwedeng i-audit yung sarili niya. It will impair his independence. So, mawawala yung objectivity. How can you audit your own self? Yung gawa mo, yung sarili mong gawa. So, normally, si internal auditor, it's separate from being an accountant or under finance. Kukuha po ba? So, here, for the purpose of discussion, normally si internal auditor, sila yung gumagawa for operational audit. Ayan. So, internal auditor, anong ginagawa niya normally? Operational audit. But can internal auditor do financial statement audit? Yes. Can internal auditor do compliance audit? Yes. The answer is yes. So, sino-sino yung mga internal auditor na nagkakandak ng compliance audit? ISO auditor. So, lahat ng nagkakandak ng ISO audit, mga internal auditors din yun. Alright. So, ano pa yung mga klase ng auditor? Yes, Ron Mark.
Ano sir, external naman po. Parang external auditors po.
External auditor. So, tama po yun. So, pag external auditors, kasi meron tayong internal auditor. Pag external auditor, they are the one who has the complete independence sa pag-audit. Kasi hindi sila employee ng company. So, dito kay internal auditor, merong employer-employee relationship. Yan po yun. So normally, ang nag-hire sa internal auditor, yung company mismo. Unlike kay external auditor, merong clientele relationship. Diba? So, hindi sila employee ng company, pero they will be hired to offer their services. So, ano yung normally na nire-render ng external auditors? Yun ay ang financial statement audit. Nakukuha po ba? Ano yung ginagawa ng external auditor? Anyone from the class? Ano yung ginagawa ng? Yes, John Eric.
Ano sir, traditionally po yung FS audit po yung ginagawa nila. Pero pwede rin po silang gumawa ng compliance audit and operational audit. Depende po sa engagement po nung sa entity.
Yes, that's correct. So, ang pinaka-main focus ng external auditor is to conduct a financial statement audit. Kasi yun naman talaga yung pinaka-core ng external auditor. Now, pwede bang gawin ni external auditor yung operational audit? Yes, if the agreement is operational auditing. Nakukuha po ba? If the agreement is operational audit or internal audit, then pwedeng gawin yon ni external auditor. Nakukuha po ba? Pero hindi sila external auditor doon. They will serve as internal auditor. Yun nga lang, walang employer-employee relationship. Kasi baka ang gusto niya ni company, okay na mag-hire kami ng outsider na auditor kaysa mag-hire or mag-recruit ng employee na magiging internal auditor. So sayang sa pera, magkakaroon pa ng 13th month pay. 'Di ba? So ganun yung gagawin ng iba. So para makatipid, mag-hire na lang sila ng outsider, one time project lang, one-time agreement. Kapag natapos na, edi okay na, wala nang usapan. 'Di ba? Nakapag-render na sila. But those external auditor, kapag operational audit yung ikakandak nila, internal auditor ang tawag sa kanila. Hindi sila external auditor. Pero tama yon, can external auditor perform operational audit? Answer is yes. However, internal auditor ang tawag na sa kanila. Can external auditor perform compliance audit? The answer is yes. Pero anong tawag sa kanila? Compliance auditor. Nakukuha po ba? So yan. Pero internal auditor and compliance auditor, operational auditor, they can be used interchangeably. 'Di ba? Kasi lahat yan normally function ni internal auditor. Yan. All right. So, ano yung isang auditor? Isang klase ng auditor na hindi pa natin na-discuss. Anyone from the class? Yes, Alira. Alira.
Government auditor po.
Hello, sorry?
Government auditor.
Government auditor. So that's correct. Thank you. Alira or Alira?
Alira po.
Alira, yes. Government auditor. So si government auditor, ang another term sa kanila ay state auditors. So bakit sila tinawag na state auditors? Because they are the auditors of state. So sino normally yung auditors of the state natin? Kilala niyo 'yon? 'Yun ay ang Commission on
Audit.
Election. Tama ba? Commission on Audit. So si Commission on Audit yung ating state auditor. So state auditor is also known as government auditors. Normally, ang ginagawa ni government auditors, compliance audit. So they do compliance audit. So they are also known as state auditors. So ano yung mga normaling ginagawa ng mga government auditors? Ano yung normaling ginagawa ng mga government auditors? So aside, alam natin, compliance audit ginagawa nila. Pero ano yung normaling ginagawa ng auditors? Punta tayo kay COA. Government auditor. Ang ginagawa ni COA? Yes, Jennifer.
They check, sir, if the government funds from taxes are being handled properly.
Yes, that's correct, di ba? If the government funds are being handled appropriately. Pero paano sila naging compliance audit? Kasi they are referencing their audit based sa existing laws, di ba? Kasi si government auditor, si COA, sabihin nila, hindi kayo compliant. Bakit hindi kayo compliant? Kasi hindi nasunod yung tamang bidding process. Yun yung tinitignan niyan ni COA. Hindi nasunod yung tamang bidding process. Di ba dapat yung pinakamababa yung o-offeran, 'di ba? So yun yung kasi nandoon si government auditor or si COA naka by the book siya. Kung ano yung nasa existing laws, rules and regulations sa bidding process, sila dapat yung mananalo, 'di ba? So ganun si COA. So ano pa? Dapat yung budget daw hindi magi-exceed, hindi sosobra kasi meron tayong Appropriations Act. So kapag sinabi ni COA, parang sobra yata yung binudget nyo, ito lang yung dapat yung budget. So sabihin ni COA, nag-exceed kayo, ito yung mandate ng Appropriations Act for this year. Para sa DOH, ito lang, billion, 10 billion. Hindi pa pwedeng maging 11 billion kasi kahit na may COVID. So, yun yung sasabihin ni COA. Kasi yun yung in-approve lang sa inyo. 10 billion, not 11 billion. So, kung mapapansin nyo, si COA, naka-incline siya sa pagiging compliant kung ano yung nasa batas, kung ano yung dapat, kung ano yung in-establish. So, nakukuha po ba? Kung mapapansin nyo, ano yung issue na meron doon kay COA, yung 'di ba may flagging, 'di ba? Na sinasabi si President Duterte. So kung titignan natin bakit kaya sinasabi nila bawal daw yung flagging. Eh syempre kung tayo si auditor, normal sa atin 'yon na dapat i-communicate yung findings natin, 'di ba? Dapat transparent. So tama lang na ginawa natin yung gano'n. I-disclose na may ganito, ganyan. Pero hindi naman ibig sabihin no'n na may anomaly na agad. Kasi it requires further investigation. 'Di ba? So tama, sumusunod kasi sa batas si COA. Sumusunod siya sa tamang procedures kasi they are in the side of compliance audit. Kaya sila tinawag na government auditors. Kasi nga, more on compliance audit sila. Si BIR examiners, di ba? Yung mga BIR examiners, sila rin ay more on compliance audit. Di ba? Government auditors din yung mga BIR examiners doon. Only that they are not working for Commission on Audit. They work for the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Pero, sinong ino-audit nila? Mga taxpayers. If those taxpayers are really compliant with the existing rules and regulations issued by the BIR, and then existing laws like Train Law, Create Law, VAT Law, NIRC. So lahat yon more on compliance. So itong tatlong to ay mga uri ng auditor. We have external auditor, we have government auditor, and then we have internal auditor. So kapag may lumabas sa exam, sinong nagkakandak ng operational audit? Alam niyo na yung sagot, internal auditor. Siya yung pinaka-best para dyan sa audit na yan, uri ng audit. Sino yung nagkakandak ng compliance audit? Ang sagot, government auditor. Kasi sila yung pinaka-best fit for that type of audit. At sino yung gumagawa ng nagkakandak ng financial statement audit? Your answer will be external auditor. Kasi sila yung pinaka-best fit for that type of audit. Pero, di ba, anong sabi ko? Can external auditor do compliance audit and operational audit? Answer is yes. Can government auditors do financial statement audit and operational audit? The answer is yes. Can internal auditor do financial statement audit and compliance audit? The answer is yes. Bakit? Because we are following the same principles, auditing principles, assurance principles. So, pare-pareho tayo ng kaisipan, ng orientation. So, kahit ano man dyan, pwede natin gawin bilang auditor. Yun nga lang, meron tayong specification or specialization. So, nagigets po ba? Nagigets ba, class?
Yes po.
Alright. Okay, so okay na tayo dito. So ngayon, tignan natin kung ano yung meron sa independent financial statement audit. Kasi nakafocus tayo saan? Etong pinag-uusapan natin, nakafocus tayo dito. Financial statement audit. Auditing theory na pinag-uusapan natin or pinag-aaralan natin ngayon, nakafocus dito. Financial statement audit. The last time, nung nasa third year kayo, pinag-aralan nyo yung operational audit. O, okay na tayo dyan. Itong compliance audit, mapag-aaralan nyo rin yan sooner, di ba? Either pagka-graduate nyo, maging CPA kayo, mag-work kayo sa COA, okay na yan. Or, saan pa? Sa government accounting, mapag-aaralan nyo rin yan. Or kung naging teacher nyo si Ma'am Macrina sa operational auditing, papagamit niya sa inyo yung auditing procedures ng COA na pag-aralan nyo na rin yan. So now, we focus on financial statement audit. So, ano ang kailangan? Ano ang kailangan? Or why there is a need? Why there is a need for a financial statement audit? Bakit daw kailangan ng financial statement audit? So, susulat ko dito. Why there is a need for a financial statement audit? Yan. So, lalakihan ko pa. Gawin kong number, ano ba yan? Ayan. Gawin ko number 16. O, tapos pulahan ko pa. Bakit daw kailangan ng financial statement audit? Anyone from the class, bakit kaya kailangan ng financial statement audit? Yes, Ron Mark.
Sir, para po katulad po nung diniscuss po last meeting, para mabigyan po ng reasonable assurance po na yung FS po free from material error po.
Yes, that's correct, 'di ba? Ang tawag natin doon, there is a financial consequences, 'di ba? Because financial statements are subject to errors, 'di ba? Because FS are subject to errors, material misstatements, fraud, there will be a corresponding financial consequences kapag hindi yun nakita, 'di ba? Or hindi napansin natin. Bakit siya may financial consequences? Because FS are the basis for decision making. So kaya kailangan natin i-audit tayo bilang auditor yung financial statement because there is a financial consequences. Ano pa? Anyone from the class? Ano pa kaya? Yes, Carmela.
Isa din po yung sa conflict of interest po. Kasi po, kunwari po sa isang company po, yung manager po, kunwari po kailangan may quota sila na sales ng certain amount. Tapos pwede po nilang i-manipulate po yung mga amounts po para po ma-receive po nila yung incentive na pinangako ng company po.
Yes, that's correct. So, meron kasing conflict of interest. Meron tayong tinatawag na conflict of interest between the management and the users of financial information. Sino-sino ba yung mga users of financial information? Naalala pa po ba yung mga users of the financial information? Alright, so I think Nico is raising his hand. So sino-sino yung mga users of the financial information?
Mga creditors po, investors, minsan government po.
Users of financial information. So lalagay ko dito ha, users of financial information. Sino-sino yon? Si creditor. So we have creditors, we have investors, di ba? We have lenders. Meron pa po ba?
Government po, sir. Government.
So, ayan. Government. Meron pa po bang iba? So, aside, okay, Bridget. Yes.
Employees pa po.
Employees. Yes, that's correct. Employees. Meron pa po bang iba? Yes, Catherine.
Customers po.
That's correct. Customers. Meron pa po bang iba? So, ito yung mga normally, di ba? The last one is the public, di ba? So, these are the users of financial information. We have here the creditors, investors, lenders, government, employees, customers, and public. So, kailangan nila yung information dun sa financial statement. Why? Because creditors and suppliers, they give extended credit terms doon sa company, di ba? Ngayon, kung yung company is being represented by management, di ba? It is being represented by management, si company. Anong gagawin ni management para i-extend or palakihin pa yung credit terms ng mga creditors? Papagandahin yung financial statement. Papakita nila, ay, mukhang malaki yata yung income nitong company na to. Sige, extend natin yung credit kasi parang kaya naman nilang bayaran yung utang nila sa atin. So, pwede bang palakihin? Pwede bang i-manipulate ni management yung financial statement? Kasi gusto nilang ma-impress yung creditors and suppliers? Tama po ba? If your answer is yes, please press number 2. If answer is no, please press number 3. Alright, okay. So lahat number 2. So nag-agree kayo because the management, meron silang motive or personal motive to alter the financial statement para mapa-impress yung investors, yung creditors or suppliers. The same then with investors, di ba? Pwede ba nilang manipulate or i-alter or gumawa ng fraudulent financial statements para yung investors mag-invest pa na mas maraming pera? Yes, the answer is yes. Sa lenders, ito yung mga banks, di ba? Lenders like banks and other financial institutions. Paano nila mapapa-impress yung mga lenders? Papagandahin yung financial statement, lalakihan yung income, liliitan yung expenses, gagawing mas liquid yung company. So, para mas maka-attract ng lenders. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba? Government. Bakit kaya pwedeng i-alter ni management yung financial statements? Because of the government. Kasi si government, di ba, naghahabol sila ng tax. Di ba? So si government naghahabol ng tax, pwedeng i-alter ni management para bumaba naman yung babayaran ng tax. Nakukuha po ba? Nagigets po ba? Yan, additional investment kay lenders, more loans, yan. Tax, employees. Bakit pwedeng i-alter ni management yung financial statement or gumawa siya ng fraudulent financial statement? Because of employees. Ano kayang reason? Ano kayang reason, class? Anyone? Yes, Nico. Nico Andre.
Siguro sir ayaw magbayad ng employee benefits. Kaya ganun.
Yes, that's correct. So ayaw magbayad ng employee benefit. So anong gagawin kaya ni management? Hindi niya ipapakita yung mga employee benefits as employee benefits. So ipapakita lang nila as in the other form of expenses. So for example, may employee benefits ang company para sa mga managers. Pero ang ginagawa nila, ano yung benefit na yon? Transportation allowance. Pero anong ipe-present ng management? Hindi employee benefits, kundi ipe-present nila as transportation expense para lumabas na hindi siya employee benefit. So ganun po yan. Normally, ganun yung ginagawa ng ibang company. Para hindi mapansin ng employee, may transportation allowance pala yung mga bosses natin. Bakit kami wala? Di ba pandemic ngayon? Hirap na hirap kaya kami magbiyahe. Tapos sila may transportation allowance, may kotse na nga sila. Kami nagtitiis sa pila sa bus, sa jeep, sa tricycle. Di ba? So, ganun yung ginagawa ng ibang company. Ngayon, syempre, kapag ikaw yung auditor, kung makikita nyo, sabihin nyo, bakit po yung transportation expense? Regularly receive yan ng mga employees nyo, ng mga managers. That should be included as part of the employee benefits. So not as transportation expense. Although it is a transportation allowance, but it shouldn't be presented as a transportation expense. So kayo yon bilang auditor. Customers, bakit kaya pwedeng i-manipulate, i-alter, or kaya gumawa ng fraudulent FS si management pagdating kay customers? Para saan? Anyone from the class? Yes, Sophia.
Sir, try lang po. May mga customers po na bumibili ng mga bulk orders, yung mga maramihan po. Tapos, check po nila yung financial stability ng company para po kung i-check po nila kung tuloy-tuloy po yung makukuha nilang products doon.
Yes, no? So dahil sa mga bulk orders, or huge orders coming from customers. Siyempre, ipapakita niya, ni management na, ay, mabenta yung ano namin, yung mga products namin. Malaki nga yung sales namin eh. So, nakaka-encourage ng mas maraming customers. So, ang tawag doon yung crowd effect, no? So, dahil feeling mo maraming bumibili doon sa product na yon, ikaw, kahit hindi mo naman kailangan yung product na yon, bibili ka din. So, ganun yung ibang customers. Because of the huge orders, because of a lot of customers are being mad or crazed about those products, bibili ka din. Diba? So, ano yung mga nauuso ngayon? Nung pandemic, anong nauso? Mga plantito sa kaplantita, di ba? Dati hindi ka naman mahilig mag-alaga ng halaman. So ngayon, nag-alaga ka na ng mga halaman. Di ba? So lumaki yung sales tuloy ng mga nagtitinda ng halaman at bulaklak. Di ba? So dati parang wala kang pakialam sa halaman. Out of nothing, dahil nakita mo uso yung mga nag-aalaga ng halaman. E di, mag-alaga na lang din ako ng halaman. So nadala ka sa sa crowd, sa craze. So, ganun yung ibang customers. So, ang management, yung tendency nila, since hindi naman nila kayang, meron kasi silang marketing team, so, ang gagawin na lang nung side ng management, papakita nila na malaki talaga yung sales, no? So, mas maraming customers yung bibili. So, public, what's with the public? Bakit kailangan i-alter or i-modify or anong gawin ni management do sa financial statement? Yes, Ron Mark.
Sir, try lang,
Yes.
kung feeling ko, may connection siya sa good public image po, tsaka reputation po ng company po.
Yeah, so good image and then social, corporate actions, diba? Kaya tayo may tinatawag na social corporate responsibility. So, yung iba, ano kayang ginagawa ng iba? Ayan, ulitan natin para makita. Ayan. So, one example, yung ibang companies, they use organization, non-for-profit organization, para itago yung mga expenses, yung ibang expenses, yung excess money. So, yung tinatawag nila excess money para itago at hindi ma-expose sa tax. So, anong gagawin nila? Kunwari, ipapadaan nila sa organization in the form of donation. So, kung makikita ng public, ay parang ang galing, ang ganda, nagdo-donate itong company na to. Ang ganda ng corporate social responsibility nila. So, nabibuild na yung image ng company, pero in fact, wala naman talagang totoong donation na naganap. Nag-issue lang, meron silang dummy NGO or NPO, tapos ini-issuehan sila ng deed of donation, certificate of acceptance, as if meron talagang nangyayari. Diba? So, ano pa? Aside from that, so tama po yun. Why management may alter the financial statement or modify the financial statement dahil sa public? Yes, John Eric. Yes,
Sir, bukod po dun sa donations, pwede po nilang palabasin na nagko-comply po sila sa lahat po nung dapat po nilang i-comply.
Yes, so pinapakita nila as if they are fully compliant with existing laws, 'di ba? So ganun yung iba. Ngayon kasi 'di ba kung mapapansin niyo mga companies, they are moving towards being a sustainable, 'di ba? They are moving towards being a sustainable companies. So sustainability, 'di ba? So they are moving towards that. Paano? So they do healthier, much cleaner products kung saan, 'di ba, yung iba nauuso. Yung soap is made from organic products, shampoo is made from organic products, it will not harm the environment. So yung iba, hindi na gumagamit ng plastics. So ganun. Yun yung just to impress the public, 'di ba? So ganun din si management. So to impress the public, they will do something from the financial statement. Nakukuha po ba? So, as if it's true, but actually it's not true. So, more on this, kapag may audit of financial statement, ang tinitignan naman dyan ni auditor, na external auditor, yung mga disclosures. Kasi mamaya may dinidisclose silang corporate social responsibilities, pero wala naman talagang ganon plan ang company. So just to impress the public for something that is not really existing, so it's a no-no. Kasi you don't have to disclose that is not really existing doon sa financial statement. So remember, our financial statement has two information, quantitative information saka qualitative information. So we're not only talking here for the quantitative information, we also talk about qualitative information. So these are the reasons why there is a conflict of interest between management and users of financial information. And sinong nagbi-bridge between the conflict of interest, or sino nag-fix, nag-aayos ng conflict of interest between management and users of financial information? It is the external auditor or the auditors. Diba? Kaya kailangan natin ng financial statement audit. Ano pa? So we have number 3. So tapos na tayo sa number 1, number 2, we go with number 3. Alright, so ayusin ko muna yan, number 3. So, sino po yun? So, tawag tayong iba. Si Jane naman. Yes, Jane.
Sir, remoteness po. Kasi po yung mga users po ng financial information, wala po silang directly access po sa financial data po ni company. So, need po nila i-verify yung reliability po ng financial statements po.
Yes, that's correct. So, remoteness is one of the reason why we need financial statement audit. Why there is a need for financial statement audit? Kasi sabi nga ni Jane, hindi daw, walang direct. So users, the users of financial information do not have direct access to the books of the company. So para masabing nakita nila rin as well yung books ng company, kailangan ipa-audit yung libro. So sino magkakandak ng audit? It must be an independent auditor. Independent siya. Independent siya from the management, independent siya from the users of the financial information. Wala siya dapat kakampihan. So bakit? Kasi kung kakampi siya sa management, magiging bias siya towards management. Kung kakampi siya sa users of the financial information, magiging bias din siya towards the users of financial information. So, ano pa? Aside from that. Alright, so number 4. Yes, okay. John Eric.
Sir, yung sa expertise po, kasi based po dun sa users ng FS, hindi naman po lahat sila is expert po dun sa pinapresent na FS po, para maintindihan po nila.
Yes, that's correct. Kasi sino ba? Sino ba yung expert pagdating sa auditor? Sa audit, it is the auditors, di ba? It is the auditors who are experts, diba? Who are experts and with the necessary skills. So, lagyan natin dito. And with the necessary skills. So, meron silang necessary skills and they are being considered as experts pagdating sa pag-audit. So, kaya kailangan natin ng independent financial audit pagdating do sa financial statement kasi hindi expert yung management, hindi expert yung users of the financial information sa pag-audit. So there is someone out there who is expert. And these are called auditors. So tama po yun. Ano pa? Meron pa kaya? Yun lang. 4 lang, di ba? These are 4 reasons why there is a need for a financial statement audit. All right. So, anyone? Meron pa po bang questions? Meron pa po bang questions, class? So last, magdi-discuss pa ako. Last na discussion na lang. So kakopyahin ko itong nasa taas para meron pa, madali na lang. Okay, yan. So burahin ko ulit. Theoretical framework of auditing. So meron tayong tinatawag na theoretical framework of auditing. Kasi bakit daw may audit? Yun yung sinasabi. Bakit daw may audit? Kanina, yung pinag-uusapan natin, bakit kailangan ng audit, ng financial statement audit. Ngayon, na-discuss na natin yun, di ba? Ngayon naman, ito naman yung theoretical framework of auditing. Parang sinasabi ng theoretical framework of auditing, bakit may audit? Bakit nga ba? Di ba? So, ano yung mga theoretical framework of auditing? Ano yung theoretical framework of auditing? Yes, Catherine. Yes, Catherine.
Sir, ang isa po doon ay yung audit function operates on the assumption that all financial data are verifiable.
So all financial data are verifiable. Diba? So there is a theoretical framework of auditing assuming, diba? Auditors all assume that all financial data are verifiable. Madaling ma-verify because there are evidences that exist. So yun yung sinasabi ng auditors. All financial data are verifiable because there are evidences that exist. Diba? Because of the evidences. So lagay natin dito. Okay, yan. Because of evidences that exist. Kapag walang evidence, that means to say that financial data is not verifiable. So kapag hindi siya verifiable, that means to say that data really is not existing. Or there could be a presence of fraudulent activities. So kapag na-verify ang data, there is an evidence to support the verifiability of the financial data at nagbibigay at ang tawag dito na pa-pamper or na se-secure. Ayun, na se-secure na ang financial data are really legitimate. There are no presence of fraud. There is a very minimal incidence of errors or mistakes kasi nga verifiable yung data. At kapag sinabing verifiable ang data, the auditor can express opinion. So auditors can express opinion. Yan. So auditors can express opinion if the financial data are verifiable. So yun po yung una, theoretical framework of auditing. Ano yung ikalawa naman? So, na theoretical framework of auditing. Yes, Carlene. Carlene or Scarlene?
Darling po.
Zarlene. Zarlene. Tama po ba? Okay.
Yes, Darling po.
Yes, Zarlene.
The auditor should always maintain independence with respect to the financial statement under audit.
So, auditor maintains independence. So, lagay ko dito, independence. So, the auditor maintains independence. So, the auditor always maintains independence. Bakit kaya dapat i-maintain ng auditor yung independence niya? Bakit kailangan i-maintain ng auditor ang kanyang independence? Yes. Maureen. Yes, Maureen.
Ayun sir, para po maging credible siya sa mga users of financial statements and para po maiwasan yung pagiging bias. Kasi sir, pag hindi siya naging independence, parang lalabas na wala nang value yung kanyang ginawang report.
Yes, that's correct, di ba? Kaya, maintain ng auditor ang kanyang independence to ensure credibility and fairness in the conduct of audit of the financial statement, di ba? Kasi kung walang independence si auditor, walang credibility yung financial information. Hindi masasabing fair ang financial information. Therefore, it impairs, di ba? The non-independence of an auditor will impair the objectivity, di ba? So it will impair the objectivity of the conduct of financial statement audit kapag walang independence, di ba? So, para masabing may independence, dapat independent ang auditor in two aspects. The auditor must be independent in mind and independent in appearance. So, dalawang klase ng independence sa kanila, no? Independence in mind, saka independence in appearance. So, yan po yun. So, dalawang klase yung minimaintain ng auditor. Independence in mind, independence in appearance. To ensure credibility and fairness. Kapag hindi nila ma-maintain yan, it will impair the objectivity of conducting the audit. So, ano pa yung ikatlong theoretical framework of auditing? Yes. Feb. Yes, Feb.
Ano po sir, na there should be no long-term conflict po between the auditor and the management or the client po.
Tama po. There should be no long-term. So, lagay ko dito. There should be no long-term conflict between auditors. Tama ba? Auditor and the client management. Bakit? Kasi bawal ito. Bawal ang conflict. Actually, bawal talaga to between auditor and client management. Kasi kapag may conflict between that auditor and client management, lumalabas, si auditor gagantihan sa management. Sasabihin ni auditor, ay hindi fair yung financial statement niya, punong-puno ng error, punong-puno ng mistakes. Para may nasususpect pa nga kung fraud dyan sa financial statement nyo. So, nagiging bias na si auditor. Hindi na siya objective. Hindi na siya objective sa pag-conduct ng audit. Kasi may long-term conflict. Ang tagal na pala ng conflict nila. So, maybe dapat palitan na si auditor. O kaya, baka pwedeng palitan si management kasi may ginagawa talagang masama si management. So, under the theoretical framework, dapat walang long-term conflict between the auditor and the client management. So, number 4. Ano naman yung meron sa number 4 natin? Yes. Yes. Okay, let me just open the queue. So, who's raising their hand? Dominic. Yes, Dominic.
Effectiveness of internal control.
Effectiveness of internal control. So, tama po yun. So, effective internal control. So, there is an assumption under the theoretical framework that internal control is effective. Ano yung internal control? Internal control are system of, diba? It's a system of processes and procedures to ensure that everything is in place and protected. Diba? So, pinoprotektahan ng internal control yung asset ng company. Pinoprotektahan ng internal control yung resources, all the resources that the company has. So, one example of having a good internal control is the application of what do you call that? Issuance of check, di ba? Check register system. So, syempre, kapag may babayaran ng company, kailangan in the form of checks. Kasi kung cash yon, tapos tayo yung mag-handle ng cash. Syempre, matetempt tayo, kukunin natin yung cash. Di ba? Pero kung cheque yon, tapos nakapangalan sa supplier, hindi na natin yun kukunin kasi wala naman tayong makukuha doon dahil nakapangalan sa supplier yon. So that is an effective internal control because it protects the asset of the company, which is cash. And then it ensures that proper procedures and other processes are in place or intact. So, ito yung unang assumption o one good assumption sa internal as a theoretical framework ng auditing. So, internal control. Ano pa? Number 5. Yes, run, Mark.
Sir, consistent application of standards po na ginagamit ng company po.
So, consistent application of standards. So, either GAAP or PFRS, diba? So, GAAP or PFRS. All right. So, itong consistent application, diba? Kapag sinusunod mo yung GAAP or PFRS, tapos you apply consistent application, it results to a what? To a fairer presentation. So, fairer presentation of financial statements. Kasi consistent yung pagkaka-apply ng company. Hindi naman pwedeng this year mag-US GAAP. Tapos 2022 IFRS tayo. 2023 US GAAP ulit tayo. 2024 sige, mas mababa yung yung expenses kapag US GAAP tayo. So hindi pwedeng gano'n. Kailangan kapag PFRS yung gagamitin mo, PFRS. Kapag US GAAP yung gagamitin mo, US GAAP. Nakukuha po ba? Pero dito sa Philippines kasi, kahit US GAAP yung gamitin mo, i-convert pa rin yun to PFRS at the end of the year. Kasi yun yung reporting framework sa Pilipinas. Diba? So, consistent ka pa rin. Kasi at the end of the year, kino-convert yung financial statement into PFRS, which is the applicable reporting framework sa Philippines. So, tama po yun. Ano pa? Number 6. Yes, John Eric.
What was held true in the past will continue to hold true in the future in the absence of known condition to the contrary.
Yes, that's correct, no? So, ano yun? Ano yung sinasabi doon? Na what was held, diba? What was held true in the past will continue, diba? Will continue to be true in the future. So, ang assumption na to ni auditor or ni auditing based sa theoretical framework, kapag sinabi nilang fair ang financial statements noong 2018, it is still considered as fair in 2019. So, nag-render si auditor. Sabi ni auditor, fair yung financial statements. Walang mistakes, onti lang yung mistakes, onti lang yung error, walang fraud, walang existence ng fraud. So, yung sinabi na yon na information ni auditor, so last year, it is still kept as true and reliable in the current year. So sabihin natin 2019 yon. 2020 na information, kung wala naman changes, yung binanggit ni auditor noon, it is still acceptable and reliable. So yun yung sinasabi nito. What was held true in the past will continue to be true in the future. So kung walang nakitang fraud si auditor in the past, it is still considered as true in the future. Pero may exemption dito. Unless na lang merong contradiction. May na-discover si auditor na ay meron palang fraud na naganap pala noon. So, it will render the information in the past as amended. So, inamend na ni auditor kasi syempre we're not that perfect. We are only human. We cannot detect all the fraud and error. So, yun po yun. Nakukuha po ba? So, ito yung ibig sabihin nun. What was held true in the past will continue to be true in the future unless there is a known conditions to the contrary. So, 7. Ano naman yung 7? Do you have any idea? All right. So, last one, I think. All right. Hannah. Yes, Hannah.
An audit benefits the public.
So, audit benefits the public. So, audit always benefits the public. Why? Bakit kaya it benefits the public? Anyone from the class? Yes, Carmela. Yes, Carmela.
Kasi po sila po yung nagre-rely dun sa information po na ina-audit po ng mga auditor. So, ano po, bali, kapag po nag-render na po ng opinion yung auditor, dun po nila malalaman if may, I mean, makakaka-apekto po yun sa decision making po nila.
Yes, that's correct, no? Kasi yung public, they rely on the information as a major, di ba? As a major information. Yung information na nandun sa financial statement, they considered it as a major information para mag-decide for the future. Di ba? Sabihin natin, ang render ni auditor, fairly stated yung yung FS, maganda yung income, ganito ganyan, okay. So syempre yung public, yung users of the financial information, sabihin nila, okay naman pala ituloy natin tong business natin, 'di ba? So yung mga users of the financial information, sabihin nila, yung public dito is not the public na sinasabi dito sa dito, ayan. Sa users of financial information, it's not the public na ito lang. Yung public na tinutukoy dito, the public as the entirety, yung kabuuan. So, total na users of the financial information. So, it benefits the public as a whole. So, ito yon, buong-buo siya. So, sino ba yung users of the financial information? So, not only the public here. So, hindi lang ito. So, it benefits the public because they rely on the information and consider it as a major information. So, yun po yun. So, these are the theoretical framework of auditing. So, ulitin natin. Number 1, all financial data are verifiable. Ikalawa, auditor maintains independence to ensure credibility and fairness. Ikatlo, dapat walang long-term conflict between the auditor and the client management. Kasi kung may long-term conflict, the auditor will get bias, no? Kasi aatakihin din niya yung client management. Siyempre, personal na tao lang yung auditor. Kung long-term na yung conflict, lagi mo nakikita, di ba? Taon-taon, lagi mong ino-audit yung financial statement. Tapos lagi kang inaaway ng client management. So, siyempre, ayaw mo ng ganon, di ba? So, gusto mong gumante, di ba? So, dapat walang ganon, walang long-term conflict. Pero syempre tayo bilang auditor, kailangan i-maintain natin yung professionalism natin, no? Dapat professional pa rin tayo. So as much as possible, kahit may conflict, hindi natin. Parang we just shrug off our shoulders. Let's do our work, professional work, as we are auditors. Effective internal control, yun. And then, in accordance with GAAP and PFRS, dapat consistent application. And then, meron pang sinasabi, what was held true in the past will continue to be true in the future. And then last one, audit benefits the public. So these are the theoretical framework. And then the need for a financial statement audit, and then types of audit and types of auditor. So thank you so much, class, for joining this class discussion So probably tomorrow, probably tomorrow class, I will upload